DeWanna Bonner left the Indiana Fever in 2025, joined the Phoenix Mercury, and returned to Indianapolis after watching that same Mercury team play in several physical games against the Fever the previous season. But just minutes after tip-off, she was already going after Caitlin Clark on the court. The game quickly turned into complete chaos with 6 technical fouls in just 8 seconds, 1 ejection, and a controversial moment when Alyssa Thomas appeared to throw an elbow at Clark, yet the foul was called on Clark instead. Bonner spent the entire game getting in Clark's face, and when Clark simply clapped after a call she disagreed with, she was hit with a technical foul. From the opening whistle, everything felt tense and controversial. But what nobody expected was Clark's response. Instead of falling apart under the pressure, she finished with 24 points and 9 assists, broke a WNBA record that had never been broken before, and Sophie Cunningham made sure Bonner, Thomas, and the rest of the Phoenix Mercury felt the impact every step of the way. Let us know your thoughts on Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham in the comments below. Bonner walked into Gainbridge Fieldhouse on June 22 wearing a Phoenix Mercury jersey, and the crowd made their feelings clear the moment she stepped onto the court. It wasn't just a few boos or scattered noise. It was loud, non-stop hostility that made one thing obvious. The fans remembered exactly what had happened before, and they had been waiting for the chance to let her know how they felt. Bonner joined the Indiana Fever at the start of the 2025 season, played 9 games, started 3 of them, and then requested a trade because, according to the official explanation, the fit just wasn't right. That was the only reason given. There was no detailed explanation, just a quiet exit from a team that had spent part of its offseason planning to have her on the roster. Reports suggested some of her former teammates were disappointed with how everything unfolded, and the fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse clearly hadn't forgotten either because they booed her throughout the entire game. But the trade request was only part of the story. After leaving Indiana, Bonner signed with the Phoenix Mercury, and that same Mercury team went on to play some of the most physical games in the league against the Fever during the 2025 season. The level of contact was so intense that multiple Indiana starters ended up on the injury report, forcing the Fever to sign emergency hardship players just to have enough healthy bodies to finish games. In the WNBA, hardship contracts are only allowed when a team's roster has been heavily reduced by injuries, giving them permission to add extra players outside the normal roster limits. Indiana reached that point because of how many injuries they were dealing with, and Phoenix played a major role in that situation.
Colson snagging that offensive rebound. Good job. Yeah, the Colson brother who was in Vegas won some championships, and it was her birthday. She turned 30.
When Bonner returned to Indianapolis with the Phoenix Mercury on June 22, the fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse were reacting to more than just a player who had requested a trade. In their minds, Bonner left Indiana, joined Phoenix, and then the Mercury spent the season playing a very physical style against the Fever. Whether fair or not, that was the story many fans remembered. From the opening minutes, Bonner played with intensity, staying in Clark's space, talking to her, and applying constant pressure. It felt like more than ordinary competitive trash talk, as if Bonner had something to prove against Clark. What Bonner seemed to overlook was that the Indiana Fever she faced on June 22 was not the same team from the previous season. The roster around Clark now has more depth, more toughness, and players who are willing to stand up for their star. Bonner only spent 9 games with the organization, so she may not have realized how much had changed. It did not take long for Phoenix to find out. 6 points in the first quarter, their fewest in an opening period since 2016. Phoenix earned it by packing the paint, taking away driving lanes, and forcing the Fever into difficult outside shots. The strategy worked perfectly. As Indiana looked rushed and out of sync, Clark missed her first 5 shots and was held scoreless in the opening quarter. The Fever shot just 2 for 18 from the field, with their only three-pointer coming from Kelsey Mitchell with 0.7 seconds left. Without that shot, Indiana would have had only 3 points. Phoenix took a 19-6 lead, and it looked like the game was already slipping away.
Caitlin, you guys trailed by as many as 16 points in the first quarter. What led to the response we saw in the second?
Yeah, just fight. First quarter was embarrassing. Got to be able to space the floor, make open shots, and get downhill. I thought we did a lot better job getting our feet in the paint. That's what allowed us to get better looks, and then we also got to the free throw line, which helped as well.
The officiating did not make things any easier for Indiana either, as several foul calls went Phoenix's way while the Fever felt they were not getting the same whistles. Coach Stephanie White challenged her team during the break to bring more energy, stay confident, and trust that the shots would start falling. After the game, Clark admitted the Fever lacked energy early on and said Phoenix's packed defense got into their heads, making the offense look tight and uncomfortable.
Clark from way outside drops a three! Couple 50-50 balls on the last two possessions have gone the way of Phoenix, and it turned into buckets. Clark, oh yeah!
Here we go.
Clark almost got that fifth foul. Find inside. It's Boston.
Then the second quarter began, and Clark took control. She scored 15 points in the period, drilling multiple three-pointers from well beyond 30 feet. Those shots were not the result of carefully designed plays, they were Clark creating her own offense, taking matters into her own hands, and pulling Indiana back into the game.
Indiana brings a double that time.
Clark, Mitchell is on an island! Clark wants to keep piling on. When will they pick her up here? He's not been afraid to let it fly from out there. Clark just spins off a Brochan. Indiana has numbers. Clark launch ahead, and Hall hits a three!
Indiana outscored Phoenix 35-22 in the second quarter, completely changing the game. After scoring just 6 points in the opening period, the Fever exploded for 35 in the next 12 minutes, erasing a 16-point deficit and heading into halftime tied. Clark led the charge with 15 points, accounting for nearly half of Indiana's second quarter offense after being held scoreless in the first. It was one of the Fever's best offensive quarters of the season and a dramatic turnaround that shifted all the momentum.
Hall, bouncing, Billings, extra pass, Boston to beat the buzzer, and knocks down a three! Billings, oh, nobody picked her up!
What the first quarter really showed was not that Indiana's offense was broken. It showed that when the offense slows down and nothing seems to be working, the team looks to Clark to change the pace and get everything moving again. The second quarter was Clark accepting that responsibility without any hesitation and taking complete control of the game. But while she was leading the Fever back into contention, Phoenix continued to play an aggressive and physical style. And the moment that would truly define the tone of the night had not even happened yet. Then came one of the game's most controversial moments. After contact between Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark, the officials called the foul on Clark instead of Thomas. The play was reviewed from multiple angles, but the ruling stood, drawing a loud reaction from the crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Fans erupted in disbelief as frustration spread throughout the arena.
I would say this, okay? When you see the elbow, you go, oh.
Thomas and Clark had been battling all game, with Phoenix playing an extremely physical style that stayed right on the edge of what the officials were willing to call. So when Thomas swung an elbow from behind toward Clark's face and made contact, the crowd saw it clearly. Clark felt the hit, but the whistle went in the opposite direction. Clark reacted to the play, and Bonner immediately stepped into her face, just as she had been doing throughout the game. At that point, everything that had been building since the opening tip finally exploded, turning the fourth quarter into one of the most chaotic and emotional stretches of the entire night. She was ready to defend her teammate if the situation escalated. That reaction was not out of character. Even before joining the Fever, Cunningham had publicly defended Clark after a controversial incident in 2025. Now that they are teammates, That same protective mindset was on full display during the June 22nd confrontation.
Third quarter we go. They're trailing by 10. Keep an eye on her and JC Sheldon. Clark trying to back her down.
Clark is okay.
Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabry comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
What followed the Cunningham-Bonner confrontation was complete chaos. In just 8 seconds, the officials issued 6 technical fouls. Maisha Hines-Allen was also assessed a technical and ejected, turning the fourth quarter into a stop-and-start stretch filled with reviews, replay challenges, and foul calls. Another controversial moment came when Clark was assessed her 5th technical foul of the season after clapping in frustration following a call. The decision drew plenty of attention, as many felt similar reactions from players often go unpenalized, adding to the debate over the officiating. Then came another memorable moment. After the scuffles and technical fouls, Bonner missed a free throw, and Thomas missed hers as well. Clark, who had watched the officiating closely all game, reacted without saying a word, prompting a loud response from the crowd. Meanwhile, Cunningham's impact went beyond the confrontation, showing once again that she was willing to stand up for Clark. Clark finished with 24 points, 9 assists, and just 3 turnovers in 29 minutes while shooting 8 of 17 from the field. Her 9 assists were especially important, as they helped create easy scoring opportunities and fueled Indiana's comeback.
Played well here tonight for Indiana. Give it Stephanie White.
Shooting and was
16 good minutes. Mitchell shot clock down to 4. Putting up the move and knocking it down.
Mitchell's shot creation forced Phoenix to change its defensive approach. She could score off the dribble, attack closeouts, and create without a screen, preventing the Mercury from focusing solely on Clark. That balance helped Mitchell score 22 points and gave Indiana another reliable offensive threat. Lexi Hull also made a big impact with a perfect shooting night, including 2 made 3-pointers. Her outside shooting stretched the defense, creating more space for Clark and Mitchell to attack and making Indiana's offense even harder to stop.
Points per game over her last 5. Boston kick out. Mitchell swing it. Hull hits a 3.
Boy, did Lexi Hull need that for her confidence. She is one of the best players out of the corner.
Monique Billings entered the season as a question mark, especially regarding how quickly she and Clark could build chemistry. But the two had already played together in FIBA competition, giving them a strong foundation before Billings joined the Fever. That connection is now showing on the court. On June 22nd, Billings recorded her first double-double with the Fever, finishing with 14 points and 10 rebounds, with several baskets coming off well-timed passes from Clark.
Billings, oh, nobody picked her up! She will waltz to the rim, and Indiana has gone from down 16 to up 10.
Now for the record. Clark's 24-point, 9-assist performance extended her streak of games with at least 20 points and 5 assists to 6 straight, the longest such streak in WNBA history. Reaching 20 points and 5 assists in one game is impressive. Doing it 6 consecutive times shows the ability to score at an elite level while also creating opportunities for teammates, even as opposing defenses are designed to slow you down. Clark has continued to excel in both roles throughout the streak.
She said, the GOAT right here. Vote her all-star.
Big dubs! WWF. Y'all know what this means.
That's a dub, baby. Beaver dub! Ow, ow, ow! Dub City, baby. Come back Wednesday. Dubs in the chat. Look at all my beautiful teammates, y'all. That's what we do. Indiana Fever, baby.
Indiana earned an 86-77 victory, but the final score doesn't capture everything the Fever overcame. They recovered from a 6-point first quarter, battled through a physical game and a chaotic fourth quarter filled with technical fouls before pulling away. After the game, Clark expressed frustration with receiving a technical foul for clapping while also praising her teammates for standing up for one another. She finished with 24 points and 9 assists, helping lead Indiana to another impressive comeback victory. Bonner's return to Indianapolis ended in a loss as the Fever completed the comeback. Let us know your thoughts on Clark and Sophie Cunningham in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more basketball coverage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.